Shalom, shalom. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this video that you see here on the screen, and I'm going to go into 3 topics. And there's more than 3 topics. When you watch the show, they touch on a lot of things, but what stood out to me the most is the belief in God, which really just simply means not believing in our God, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the God of the Bible. Also, how pride for black people gives black people, so-called black people, a sense of identity, and how black pride leads into positivity as opposed to white pride. Right, so he looks at black pride and white pride. That's what they talk about a bit. Also, what true religion is, in the sense of how religion and the Bible are 2 different things. He goes into that. He goes into the topic of the Crusades. He touches a little bit on it. He doesn't go deep into it, but he mentions those things. He mentions the different branches of Christianity. He also mentions Muslims and Islam, on how they create their own religion and they take the Bible out of context, and they put their own twist on the Bible, and it's really wrong. Right. Now, before I get started, as always, man, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well and have taught me this truth. To you I say shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Kwam Yasha Allah and Abad Babal. So, yeah. By the way, the title of the video is called Adam and Wack Show, #14 or number 14, with Tariq Nasheed and Captain Tazariak, and that's Captain Tazariak right there on the screen. He is a part of the ISUPK Israelite group, another faction in Israel, Israelite faction, and also that's Adam 22, Adam number 22, okay, Adam 22, that's him right there, and this is his channel called No Jumper. And I kind of, Adam kind of reminds me of the grimier version of Vlad. For some reason, every time I just think of like the grimy version of Vlad. But they have 2 different spirits, but that's just how I see Adam. Right. But anyways, now I just want to go into what he said about the belief in this God. Right. And that's the God of the Bible, which his name is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. And I believe Mr. Wack on the show, he said, what about the Bible? The Bible promotes violence, right? If you don't believe in this God, you'll be put to death. And then Captain Tazariak says, well, that's not what the Bible says, which that's partially true, and it's partially false, right? I understand what he's trying to get into. I know what he's trying to do, but what I don't like, though, is they don't bring out scriptures, especially Captain Tazariak, while he's explaining these points. And I understand on this platform you can't really do that, especially with individuals like these. You can't really bring out scriptures. And that's why, the apostles, they told us in the past, and they still caution us and tell us, to not get involved with these debates. It's a waste of time, especially with people that don't believe in what you believe in. Because you're not going to really be able to get your point across the right way. You have to come with the scriptures, and he didn't really do that. But he did a great job explaining it to people who are not in the truth. But now, if you were to filter everything he was saying in the scriptures, you can elaborate more on what he's saying, and also you can correct him where he went wrong. Right. So I just want to go into the first point I want to go into is the belief in this God, because it is true. It is true. If you don't believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, he'll put you to death. And that stands first and foremost for our people. And there's many scriptures that go into that. And one scripture that comes to mind is this scripture. 2 Chronicles, Salakia, 2 Chronicles 15 verse 13. And it says, that whosoever would not seek Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, power of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman, right? So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? Actually, you know what? I want to start at verse 12. Let me start at verse 12. All right. So, Second Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 12. And they entered into a covenant to seek Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power of their fathers with all their heart and with all their soul. That's right. So they love the Lord with all their heart, all their mind, all their soul, all their spirit, right? And they entered into the covenant, which is the agreement, a contract to seek Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the power of Israel. And that's the same power that our forefathers worshipped. Going back to Abraham, Isaac, and obviously Jacob, right? So verse 13, that whosoever would not seek Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. And they swear unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with a loud voice, and with shouting, and with trumpets, and with cornets. Now, what does that simply mean, man? Like, when you go into it, right? So they pretty much agreed that whosoever would not seek Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the power of Israel, whether they would either worship, whether that is they were worshiping either other gods or refused to join with them in worship of the true power, that was either maybe an obstinate idolater or an obstinate atheist, that person should be put to death. And that wasn't that wasn't a law. That wasn't a law of their own making, right? That wasn't a law of their own making, right? That was actually a law that was given to them when you go into Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 2, right? Right. So it was really, but in order to put in execution, to put in execution that law of the Most High, right? So, as a matter of fact, let me get Deuteronomy 17 and 2 actually. All right. Deuteronomy 17 and 2. Let's get that. Administration of justice. So if there be found among you with any of thy gates, within any of thy gates, which Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power giveth thee, man or woman that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy power in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other powers and worship them, either the sun or the moon, or any of the hosts of heaven which I have not commanded, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die, right? And that starts with our people, right? That starts with our people. So really, yeah, you're really supposed to get rid of individuals who don't want to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, whether they're an idolater, whether they're an atheist, right? You got to get rid of them, and they can't be a part of the congregation, especially if they're wicked, man. So I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about, because that starts with our people first and foremost. The law first and foremost applies to us, all right? So the Lord of the Bible, he is about killing, because that guy, Mr. Wack, he said, there's so much violence in the Bible. And he's right, but he didn't fully explain that. And I find that quite disturbing, right? The Lord is in the business of killing people who don't want to worship him, especially his own people. And that's why in the future, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're going to be put to death because of their iniquity, their wickedness, and them not wanting to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and not putting off this world, right? So I don't know what he's really going into. I don't know about that, man. He didn't fully explain that right, and I don't like that, right? When people ask you these type of questions, you got to explain that, because now that breeds confusion. All right, so we already covered that. Let me see here. Now, I just want to bring this point out. After we came out of Egypt, the Lord, He gave the Canaanites and these different Hamites into our hands, right? And we got rid of the Canaanites. We put them to death, right? And we took their land. And the Lord allowed us to do that. So killing is a part of our history. Killing on behalf of the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, it's a part of our history. It is, right? And we were allowed to do it. Our forefathers, we were allowed to. The Lord allowed us to. So it says Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1. When the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee. That's right. The Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. That's true, and they were a lot stronger than us. A lot mightier. And we took them down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So, I don't know what he's trying to say here. Verse 2. And really the Lord allowed it. I don't know what he's saying. Verse 2. And when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them. So yeah, you shouldn't compromise with them. You shouldn't make no deals with them. Shouldn't make a coalition with them. No, you're not supposed to do that. Nor show mercy unto them. That's right. No mercy. No mercy. You see that? Clearly states that. Nor show mercy unto them. Right? Don't show mercy unto them. And we know that the Canaanites in these different Hamitic nations, they were idolaters. They were wicked as hell. And that land belonged to us. And that's not their land. Right? So, I don't know. The Lord is in the business with killing other nations. Now, it says here, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from believing me. Or, I'm sorry, not believing. From following me. Salakia. That they may serve other powers. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So you see that we're not supposed to marry their sons, marry their daughters, because they're going to get us entangled into idolatry, idol worship. And that's going to destroy us as a nation. Right? And that's why we had to get rid of them. So yeah, the Lord, He doesn't want us to be associated with idolaters. Really, let's get to that point as well, because that falls under the category, if you don't believe in this God, or you don't believe in the power of the Bible, He's going to kill you. That falls under that. This falls under that banner, right, or that category, Salakia. Because we're not supposed to be associated with these idolaters, because that if we get with them, they're going to corrupt us and our children. And it's going to cause confusion, and it's going to destroy us in the long run and anger the Most High and His Son. So anyway, so it says here, so will the anger of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. A swift destruction. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars. That's right. Destroy their altars. Break down their images. Right. So we're supposed to destroy their altars. Destroy everything that they have. Okay? And break down their images. Cut down their groves. And burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai thy power. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And that's right. We're above all these different nations, whether you believe it or not. That's our lot. And we're going to see that in the future. You Israelites, you're going to come on top. And it doesn't look like you're ever going to get anywhere. You Jakes, you so-called blacks, you so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. It seems like you're never going to come out of that low estate, but you are. right? But anyways, that's one of the points. The Lord is in the business of killing people who are not right. He's in the business of killing idolaters. And we know for a fact that the Lord, he is a jealous power. So why didn't he bring that out? First and foremost, the Lord is actually, let me get this one first, and then I'll get Exodus 20. So let's get Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 15. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which Yahweh thy power, which Yahweh thy power doth give thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites and the Perizzites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power hath commanded thee. So it was commanded. So the Lord is in the business of killing people, in the business of killing idolaters, and taking their land at the same time, right? So I don't know what point, I don't know what he's trying to go at, right? But you have to watch the video for yourself. It's like he's trying to be politically correct. That's what I get from that. And when you teach these scriptures, you can't be politically correct, man. But on this platform, and also him being on YouTube, you have to. Because you're going to get censored by Eazy-E and the Bible Destruction Group. All right? So, yeah, that point, believe in this God, kill these people for not believing in me, he didn't really explain that properly. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't know. And I'm not familiar with Captain Tazariak. I don't know the man. Right? Maybe you other brothers that watch him a lot or probably know him, I don't know, maybe you can give a better breakdown or talk about him a little more. I know the apostles can. In the past, they've talked about Captain Tazariak. But from what I see here in the video, it wasn't, he didn't break that down properly. Or he didn't talk about it properly. Now here's the next one. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So the Lord's very jealous. What does jealousy lead to? It leads to anger, and it leads to death. You make the Lord jealous, he's going to kill you. And that's what happened to our people when we serve other gods. The Lord got jealous, and guess what? He jacked us up. Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. That's what you're supposed to do. If you want mercy, and if you love the Lord, what is love? Love is keeping the commandments. Right? If you want mercy, and you want to show love unto the Lord, you got to keep the commandments. You got to worship the Lord. Right? So now let's get into the point of true religion, or religion and the Bible are different. And he makes some good points. He brings up how the modern day Christian church and these different Christian branches, these different branches of Christianity and also Islam, they take the Bible out of context, and then they create their own religion out of that. Right? And you, pretty much the Israelites don't like to get involved with religion. But if you were to get technical, we do have a religion. We do have a religion. Right? When you go into James chapter 1 verse 26 all the way down to the 27th verse, it's called pure religion and undefiled. Pure religion that is undefiled before the Lord. So we do have a religion, but it's pure religion. Now, we don't like to get into the topic of religion when talking to people, because religion in this day and age, it's associated with terrorism and you being a fanatic. So we don't like to get into that topic. And we can break it down to people, but people are going to take what we say and they're going to twist it and take it out of context. So we just don't get involved with saying, you know, we have a religion, but we do have a religion. There is true religion according to the Bible, right? When you break it down. Let me get the precept. Let me just read the scriptures. So this is James chapter 1, verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Right? So yeah, to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction, which is also showing charity. You know, not oppressing the poor. And, you know, our people, they are the fatherless, and we're supposed to teach them this truth. Our people are the fatherless out here. That's spiritually and literally. Come on, man. Leave me alone, man. Right? So yeah, we're supposed to visit them and teach them this truth, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. What does that mean? Right? You know, how are you to keep yourself unspotted from the world? By making sure you avoid the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Those you know, doing those three things keeps ourselves unspotted from the world. Right? And by default, when you seek Yahweh Bashim El Shai by rehearsing the righteous acts, calling upon his name, you're going to do all those three things. So that is a part of our religion. You know, avoiding the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Especially pride. And that's another thing that he goes into. Right? Pride. Going into black pride. On how that's another point I want to get into. Now hold on, before I do that, let me get religion. Okay, so religion, state of life bound by monastic vows. Right? So what is a vow, right? A vow is something that you take in a marriage. Right? So let's get what is what does vow mean? Okay, a vow, it's an oath, pledge, promise, bond, covenant. Okay, so we've taken a vow, you know, we've made a covenant with Yahweh Bashim El Shai to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and to serve the Lord. We've taken an oath, right? So we sworn an oath unto Yahweh Bashim El Shai. We took an oath, and we are still doing that because we are bid into the marriage, right? And that's going to happen soon when the Lord comes back to deliver us. I believe you can find that account in Matthew the 25th chapter. But we have to take vows if we're going to be married unto Yahweh Bashim El Shai. We have to swear an oath. We have to make a bond. We have to make a covenant, especially if you want to be delivered. Right? So that's a part of our religion. We're really making a vow. Right? State of life bound by monastic vows. Right? Action or conduct indicating a belief in a divine power and reverence for a desire to please it. And that's why you make that vow. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? And a part of that is you avoiding the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And also teaching this truth to the fatherless and to the widows. If you're not doing those things, then you're pretty much breaking the vow. Right? You are. And that's what we're not trying to do. So that's a part of our religion. Okay? So yes, we do have a religion. We do have a religion. To avoid the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And also we're to teach this truth to our people. Teach them the name of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Teach them the ordinances that are written in this book. Teach them about Yahweh Shai himself, right? So now it says here there's other definitions. Respect for what is sacred. Reverence for the gods, or the God, which is Yahweh. Conscientiousness, sense of right, moral obligation, fear of the gods, or fear of the God, Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Divine service, religious observance, a religion, a faith, a mode of worship, cult, sanctity, holiness. All right. Now he goes into the Crusades, and he says that the Christian Church and Islam, they take things to the extreme, and they take the Bible out of context. And yeah, that's true. There's truth to that, because you can bring up a lot of historical facts on that. You can go into the Protestant Reformation with Martin Luther, right? You can go into the 95 Theses. All right, think about that. What are the 95 Theses? Going back to 1517 with Martin Luther, right? What did he bring out? That the Bible is essential religious authority, and pretty much the saints, which is you Israelites, the only way that you can pretty much reach salvation is pretty much by your faith and not by your deeds only, because that's what the church back then was doing, the Catholic Church. They were saying, oh, you can get salvation if you pay your way. If you pay, you can pay your way into heaven. Right? So yes, he's right when he says, these different branches of Christianity, they take things to the extreme when they believe in religion, because they take the Bible out of context and they start teaching their own things and start doing their own madness. Yeah, he's right. But you have to explain what pure religion is. And that's in our book. And I just explained it to you. Right? But like I said, man, you can't really do that on a platform like this. Especially to people who don't believe and who don't know anything about the Bible. Because when you watch this show, those men don't really know the Bible, man. They don't know the Bible. And they're just there to talk and to promote themselves and pretty much to make some money. Right? But if you're going to bring up that topic, you got to explain it. And you're high up there. You have the rank of captain. All right? But, you can't do that on that platform. Maybe he knows it. Maybe he doesn't know it. And you know what? Who cares? But you didn't teach it right. Okay? You didn't teach it right. All right. So I want to go into the point of black pride. Because we're not supposed to have pride. Especially as Israelites. When he's talking about the black community, we're not supposed to have pride as Israelites. I'm going to get the scriptures on pride. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before fall. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Hear that? So pride goeth before destruction. And 2/3 of you so-called blacks, you're very proud. Very proud. You're proud of hip-hop. You're proud of all the things that you've done in this country. You shouldn't be proud of those things. I'm going to say that. I'm just coming from a spiritual standpoint, from a scriptural standpoint. You're not supposed to be proud of those things. Those things are to remind you that this is not your rest. Yeah, you can acknowledge what they did or what your people did in this country. You can acknowledge it, but you shouldn't be proud of it. You shouldn't be proud of that. You shouldn't be proud of hip-hop, on how you were depraved and that's how hip-hop started. You shouldn't be proud of that. You should be humbled. That should remind you that, this place is not your rest and that you went off. But you shouldn't be all proud about that and trying to fight to keep hip-hop. Hip-hop ain't going to save you. Hip-hop ain't going to save you. And let's be frank, man. Hip-hop is garbage today in 2023. Hip-hop is garbage. If you were to compare hip-hop from now all the way to back in the early 2000s, or going even way back, it's totally different. And it's garbage. It's garbage. And that's also prophecy. The daughters of music shall be brought low. But you shouldn't be proud of that, man. those things are to remind you of why you're here. And you're supposed to be humbled about that. And you're supposed to be putting on sackcloth and ashes. Not being proud and lifting up a fist. All right? So he didn't break that down properly. We're not supposed to be proud here. So this is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth Yahweh Bashem Yahushai hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look. Lord hates pride. A lying tongue. And a lot of our people are liars. Especially you black people. A lot of you are liars. Right? A lot of you people, a lot of you hip-hop moguls, you're liars. You're proud. And you have shed a lot of innocent blood. We shouldn't be looking up to no hip-hop. We shouldn't be proud about no hip-hop. Hip-hop talks about drugs and guns and witchcraft and committing adultery, being a damn demon. Real hip-hop comes out of the scriptures. Go into Psalms. That's real hip-hop. If you want to learn how to rap, go to the book of Psalms. Listen, read Yahushai's teaching. Yahushai can rap. All right, he can rap. All right, different similes, allegories, metaphors. Right, he's doing all of that. That's what the scriptures has. The scriptures is a rap book. Right, it's a rap book. Spitting rhymes, bars, everything, you name it. All right, and low key, there's mumble rap when you go into the murmuring of our people. Right, when we came out of Egypt, that's the real mumble rap, and that's garbage, man. But anyway, that's just me talking. Verse 17. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that devises wicked imaginations. Feet that be swift in running to mischief. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Wow. So, here you go. Proud look. Those are the 6. That's one of the 6 things that the Lord hates. He hates pride. So we shouldn't have black pride. There should be no black pride. That's stupid. Pride in general is bad. Right? Pride in general is bad. And then he goes into how black pride for black people gives us a sense of identity, and it leads into something positive, into creating something. And that's what we should look at. And then he compares how right pride leads into destruction. So, if you were to, this guy, Adam 22, he said, if I were to tattoo that on my chest, or he brought up the point of, I believe it was a fighter, a professional fighter. He wanted to do that. But if he did that, people would look at him badly, because white pride is associated with negativity, as opposed to black pride. Black pride or brown pride, it's associated with positivity. But in the sight of the Lord, that ain't positive, right? It ain't positive. And he didn't make that point. He should have said that and then talk about those other things, right? So I don't know. He didn't break that down right. Also, going off of how pride for black people gives them a sense of identity, he also made the statement on how due to us having pride and looking back at how great we were, it gives our youth something to look up to, right? So they can accomplish things. Now, we're supposed to look at the things that are written in the book, and you're supposed to teach your sons and your daughters of the things that our forefathers did in the scriptures, right? So let me get, and you're also supposed to reflect upon the name, and it's a memorial unto you. Now, what is a memorial, right? A memorial is a memorable, excellent, also remembered, committed to memory, mindful of remembering, of or belonging to memory, from memoria, memory, right? To remember, serving for commemoration. So we're supposed to be mindful of remembering Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's name. We're supposed to remember the law, statutes, and commandments, wearing the border of blue in our fringes. we're supposed to remember our heritage, our real heritage, and that comes out the scriptures. And that starts with the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So I have some precepts on that. So this is Exodus chapter 3, verse 14. And the Most High said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he's speaking in the first person. So what does that translate to? He is to be. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Yashar'Allah, I am, have sent me unto you. So Yahweh has sent me unto you, Israelites. That's how he's supposed to say it. So Yahweh told me, he sent me unto you. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, sent me unto you to teach you his name and give you the law, statutes, and commandments. Verse 15, and the Most High said, moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Yahweh thy power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, have sent me unto you. This is my name forever. I just want to see if we're still recording here. Be careful. Yeah. Okay, so he said here, and the power of Jacob has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Wow, all generations. From generation on after generation to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. That name is supposed to be remembered and spoken of among the children of Israel. So we're supposed to reflect on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, not on black pride and hip-hop. Right? Not on those things. Yes, you can acknowledge those things, but we shouldn't be proud about those things. And that makes me also think of Micah chapter 2, verse 10, for this is not our rest. Right? Because that's what those things are supposed to remind you about. That this is not our rest, we're POWs, and we got to get the hell up out of here. You shouldn't be proud of slavery. You shouldn't be proud of post-slavery. You shouldn't be proud of Martin Luther King. Yes, you can acknowledge it, but you shouldn't be proud of that. You shouldn't be proud of that. Hell is wrong with you tribes, man. That's embarrassing. Because that shows you who we are and how low we are and what we were doing wrong. But, 2/3 will be 2/3. So here we go. This is another one. Also, we're supposed to remember the high holy days, especially the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So I'm gonna just go briefly into it. This is Exodus chapter 12, verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Forever. Okay? You're supposed to keep these things. You're supposed to reflect on these things. And it's supposed to be a memorial unto you. You're supposed to remember those things. And that's your heritage. Verse 15, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Yashar'Allah. Okay, so, and in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the seventh day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. Alright. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this self same day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall you observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. And you're supposed to reflect on how we were delivered out of Egypt. And yes, you can be, I don't like to use the word proud, you should be happy about reflecting on those events. And it should be a solemn assembly while you're doing it. Because everything with you Israelites, everything with you so-called black people, you Native Americans, you Latino, everything's a party. When you reflect on something, it has to be a party. Not everything has to be a party. Why don't you guys get serious? Why don't you guys get serious about your power and about your humble beginnings, on how you were delivered and how you were treated? And we are in modern day Egypt, and we're about to come out of it again. Right? So yeah, you should be reflecting of what happened in the past, going into the high holy days and what happened in Egypt with our forefathers, how we were delivered, because we're in modern day Egypt again, and we're getting ready to be delivered. Right? So you should have brought out those points. Right? Could have, and you could have done more. And we're supposed to acknowledge the laws, statutes, and commandments to the point where we should be wearing them. Right? So this is Deuteronomy chapter, this goes into the Tefillins. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 8. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be, it should be written upon your own house. You Israelites ain't doing that. And that's a part of your heritage. You're supposed to write the laws in your house. Right? But you Jakes, man, you want to get all fancy. You get rich, you get some money. You don't do that. Put a water fountain in your house. Like Michael Jackson, put amusement park. Right? But you don't put no laws. Put an amusement park, though, where all them damn kids can come and play. But you don't put the laws. And that's why you guys are destroyed, man. So you Jakes are destroyed. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. And I don't hate you. I don't hate Jake. I don't hate Jakes, but I hate 2/3. Right? I'm not saying, you Jakes are completely stupid. Some of you are, but this is not to show hate for Jake. It's just telling the truth, But anyways, and it shall be when Yahweh Bashim Yoshai thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not. And there you go, man. So that law is supposed to be reverent. You're supposed to wear it, and you're supposed to write them upon your house. Right? You can go in the Tefillin, right? You can Google that image yourself. So this is Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Yasha'Allah, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. So that's supposed to be on your clothing, your garments. It's supposed to have the border of blue and fringes. And that they put upon the fringe of the borders and a ribbon of blue. Right? And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai and do them. So it's not just about you remembering, you got to do them. You got to do it. And that ye seek not after your own heart. Right? Going into the pride of life, the lust of the flesh. Right? Pride of life, the lust of the flesh. And I forgot, what's the other one? Hold on, I just forgot it off my tongue, right? Slipping my tongue. What is it? Pride of life and pride of life. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Yeah, that's what it is. You shouldn't be seeking those things. All right, you shouldn't be seeking those things. After which ye used to go a whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your power. I am Yahweh, your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your power. I am Yahweh, your power. That's right. He's emphasizing, hey man, I am the one. I am your power. I am your father. I did everything for you. Can't stress that enough. Power was stated 3 times, man. 3 times. 3rd time is the charm, for lack of better words. Alright. Also, you're supposed to remember your enemies. You're supposed to remember that you're supposed to take them out. That's another thing you tribes don't want to do. You don't want to remember your enemies. Why don't you take some pride in that? So Exodus chapter 17, verse 14. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar. Right? See here. And Moses built an altar. Yeah, that's right. I got to just check the thing here. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nisi. For he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. You're not supposed to forget what Amalek did unto you. And you're supposed to remember Amalek is going to pay. He's going to fucking pay. You damn Amalek, you're going to fucking pay. Right? You got to remember those things. So with that, I hope this was edifying. Till next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaChodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS. To you I say Shalom and Abba Shalom.